Item number 4, we have some presentations this evening. First of all, we have a presentation from the Caltrain Joint Powers Board regarding the final design of the San Bruno grade separation.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, we have Liria Lorano of Caltrain, who is going to give us a brief presentation on a recent decision that's been made by Caltrain affecting the final configuration and design of the grade separation, which is currently being constructed in our town.
Good evening. My name is Liria Lorano, Director of Engineering and Construction for Caltrain. And like Connie said, I'm here to give you a recommendation on our final design configuration on the San Bruno grade separation project. So 3 years ago, when we put together the design for this project, there was a possibility that high-speed rail would be ready to complete 2 additional tracks for its own use east of our tracks. So to account for that possibility, we structured our construction contract in such a way that we had 2 options. The first option was if high-speed rail were ready, then the scope of our contract would be to build only the platform on the west side of the tracks and to build the 2 elevated tracks. High-speed rail would then come right behind us under a separate project to build its 2 additional tracks, build the platform on the east side of the tracks, and complete a 4-track station. The other option was if high-speed rail were not ready, or they decided not to build those tracks in San Bruno, our current contract would build both platforms and complete a 2-track station in San Bruno. So this is what a 4-track station would have looked like had high-speed rail been ready. This is what a 2-track station would look like. And since at this time, high-speed rail still does not know what its final configuration will be, and it appears that it will take a while before that decision is made, we recommend that under this contract, we proceed with this 2-track station. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
So we'll be into a ton of demolition and construction if, in fact, 4-track goes through later? Will we have to reinvent this whole thing?
If that happens, what would have to happen would be we would demolish the platform on the west side. I'm sorry, on the east side. On the east side, build the 2 additional tracks at that time, yes.
So pile driving again, or will the existing structure support all of that?
There would be additional pile driving, yes.
Can you briefly explain why 4 tracks for high-speed rail?
Well, that's what they proposed, but whether they're going to do that or not, we don't know.
Well, it's just the logistics of 2 additional tracks to accommodate, faster trains that don't stop at every stop.
2 additional tracks as passing tracks? Is that what you're talking about? Or?
Yes, for those that don't understand the difference between 2 tracks and 4-track configuration,
okay.
why? Yeah.
All right. So I think originally, so let me go back to that. Okay. Originally, the intent, I think, for high-speed rail was to have those 2 additional tracks dedicated for high-speed rail so they could go at their own speed. We go 79 miles per hour. At that time, they were going 125 miles per hour. So the plan was for them to use their own additional tracks to go at their own speed.
Okay.
Any questions? City Manager?
Actually, Mr. Mayor, I've asked Caltrain to give us a little bit more detail about this, that it certainly would be a very strong concern, which has been represented to Caltrain for this community if, in fact, an additional 2 tracks were to come behind and, sometime a year, 2 years, 3 years after the grade separation structure is finished with the 2-track configuration, for then the community to be again disrupted with additional new construction. Caltrain has informed us, and I will ask Lyria in just a moment to give you just a very simple snapshot of the fact that there is an alternative. Given the state of the discussion around high-speed rail right now, it cannot be predicted with certainty what or when, whether or when high-speed rail will actually become a reality. But Caltrain is actively in consideration with high-speed rail of the possibility of a means by which faster trains could be accommodated on a two-track structure. So if you could explain that.
Okay, so right now we have a Caltrain modernization team that's working with high-speed rail to consider having a blended system. So the original plan for high-speed rail was to have 2 additional tracks from San Francisco to San Jose, the entire length, and that would result in 4 tracks for the entire length. Right now, we're looking at a blended system where we would have only 4 tracks for maybe a 7 to 9 mile section that could be used for passing tracks or for overtaking. So that would be obviously beneficial because it would be less disruptive for at least that right-of-way between San Francisco and San Jose.
But that 7 to 9 mile stretch would not include San Bruno.
It's being considered. There are 3 options on the table right now. One is the northern option, which is between Millbrae and Bayshore. Bayshore is in San Francisco. The midline option is between San Mateo and Redwood City. And the southern option is between Mountain View and Lawrence in San Jose.
Okay, and do we have any idea when that decision might be made?
I don't know when that decision is going to be made.
All right,
It seems like it will be a while from now.
all right, thank you. Anything else? Irene?
Thank you. What if we don't want it? What if we say enough? We've done a lot. We've accommodated Caltrain a lot. We've put up with a lot. We're putting up with a lot. What if we say, no, we don't want 2 more
It
tracks?
would be input that would be considered. I think as part of the Caltrain modernization team, they're soliciting input from all of the cities. So it would certainly be input that would be considered.
How are they doing that? I haven't heard anything about
They're
it.
doing outreach with the different cities, and we can do that outreach here too.
Okay, so if our city is one of the ones that's being considered for additional tracks, and hasn't been a system set up yet to come here and ask for our input?
We could do that. We've reached out to different cities already, and certainly we can work with Connie and others to have that outreach handled here. I think there's been several outreach sessions. Clara's been participating in some of those sessions. So San Bruno has been invited. There are staff members who've been invited to those sessions.
Okay, but I think that's a policy decision.
Let me just clarify. First of all, staff has been abundantly clear. I don't think there's any confusion about what the city's position is. And I think it is necessary that the city council have an opportunity to take a formal action and to weigh in officially on this issue, because it is one of extreme significance to the city of San Bruno and to its residents, who have been very significantly impacted by construction over these past several years. To a result that we look forward to completion of an elevated station platform and an amenity in our town. However, it has come at some cost, and it was clear at the outset of this project, many years ago, a decade ago, when we first started talking about the grade separation, that our enthusiasm for this project was all about going through the trauma of the construction one time. Our message has not changed. Our position has not changed. I think Caltrain is very clear, and you're absolutely correct. That needs to be specifically communicated by the City Council. So we'll come back and make sure that happens.
If I may, and I can appreciate my colleague, Councilwoman O'Connell, for asking that pertinent question. And let me correct you. It's not been one time. It's been twice. We have something underground, and then we've had something that's currently under construction. And believe me, we've been dealing with this for over 10 years. The mayor and I, staff, other community members and everything have been dealing with this project, and we have been dealing with a 4-track configuration ever since. Now that we're not going to have, now that the decision has been only 2 tracks, we're not going to leave the door open, openly to come back whenever they're good and ready to pay for 3rd and 4th track. So I think that message is clear. We're not going to say absolutely no right now. I would like to say absolutely no right now, but again, it is a policy decision. I know the concerns of our colleagues here in the community, especially the residents that are impacted right now. So we're not going to lay down. We have put up with a lot, and we've been very cooperative with Caltrain, and we believe that there's going to be, a very good project when it's completed, no matter how many tracks it is.
Through the chair. I just want to echo what the city manager said, because I think she said it very well. Just so it's abundantly clear from now most of us speaking, is that driving down on Huntington, what the businesses on San Mateo Avenue are dealing with the residents and the homes, it's been a lot. Vice Mayor is correct. I lived on Milton when we had BART, and now I'm over here dealing a little bit, not as much as some others, where I live today. It's a lot. It's a lot day in and day out. And this town, if one thing you may learn, it's pretty united. It expects and has expectations to be asked and communicated to, and that collectively as a community we move forward on things.
So you didn't know you had outreach tonight? You heard a little bit of it. You'll hear it from staff, and you'll also hear it from the council if that needs to be. But thank you for your presentation. We're looking forward to completing this huge project. Really
We are too.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Riegel?
Robert Rico, 7th Avenue. How will electrification potentially affect the need for 4 tracks? Can that be done because they're starting to talk about that on 2 tracks, and high-speed rail can still stay on 2 tracks?
Yeah, well, those are 2 separate issues. So electrification is for modernization of our system, right? So we would do that, we would like to do that independently of the 4-track issue.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Item 4B was supposed to be a receiver presentation from Santrans regarding proposed changes to bus service, but they are not quite ready with their report, so we're going to pull item 4B. Item 4C is to present a proclamation declaring May 20th, 26th, 2012 as Public Works Week. City Council of the City of San Bruno, State of California, whereas public works services are an integral part of our citizens' everyday lives, and whereas the support of citizens is vital to the efficient operation of public works systems and programs such as water, sewer, streets, and storm drainage, and our community's health, safety, comfort, and quality of life greatly depends on these facilities and services. And whereas the efficiency of qualified and dedicated personnel who staff the City of San Bruno Public Services Department is influenced by the citizens' attitude and understanding of the work they perform, and whereas this year's theme, Public Works Creating a Lasting Impression, speaks to the never-ending effort of public works professionals to use sustainable solutions to bring their communities the highest possible quality of life within a framework of environmental, social, and economic responsibility. Now, therefore, I, Jim Ruane, Mayor of the City of San Bruno, proclaim May 20th, 26th, 2012 as Public Works Week in San Bruno, and call upon our citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing our public works to the community, and to recognize the contributions that our public works officials and staff make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. I'd like to present this, Clara.